there. In today's video, we're going to be taking another processed food, gluten-free ramen, and turning it into a satisfying, complete meal packed with extra protein as well as vegetables. So if this is the type of thing you're interested in, follow along and see how I do it. My name is Sharon McCaskill. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I help you live gluten-free with confidence and without the stress. Today's video is part 2 in a series where we are taking processed comfort food, the type of stuff that we all love to eat, and I'm turning it into a complete meal that will actually give you the nutrients you need and satisfy you. Processed food, like ramen, gets a pretty bad rap. Understandably, right? It's not the highest in nutrition. They tend to be high in sodium, and they give you really quick energy instead of a sustained energy that will last you until your next meal. However, I totally believe that gluten-free living is restrictive enough for all of you who do medically need to be gluten-free, and these processed foods that we love to eat, that taste good, they're quick, they're easy for us in our busy lives, I firmly believe that these can be part of a healthy and wholesome gluten-free diet. So in today's video, we're going to take ramen. I love the Lotus Foods brand. I eat this all the time, but if you're looking for a different brand, I have a whole guide on my website to gluten-free ramen brands, so you can check it out. There's a link below the video and find the brand that is your favorite. But I'm gonna take this, and to this, we're going to add more protein to make it a complete meal, as well as adding extra vegetables. By adding extra protein, we're going to be upping the satisfaction factor and making it so that our meal actually fills you up and keeps you satisfied to your next meal. Adding all these extra vegetables will help bulk out the meal to make it more filling at the time that you're eating it, as well as provide lots of other nutrients that your body needs for proper functioning. For my protein in this meal, I'm going to use tofu. Tofu is made out of soybeans, which is one of the complete proteins that we can actually get in a plant-based diet. My husband does eat meat, and you don't have to use tofu. You can totally use leftover meat. You could use a hard-boiled egg. That would be really great in your ramen as well. There's lots of other options, but this is what I'm using today. Soy gets a really bad rap, but unnecessarily so. There's a lot of research on soy, and there's actually way bigger consensus of research on soy that it's beneficial for health as opposed to it hurting your health. And the communities in the world that live the longest, right, eat a diet that's very high in soy and soy protein. So we're gonna use this. And this is what we're gonna start with first. So when you're making your ramen cooks really quickly. We start with the protein. So I'm gonna air fry this to make it really crispy. The other thing we're gonna be doing is adding a bunch of vegetables. So in today's recipe, I'm using pre-shredded carrots because it's so simple, it's already there. I'm gonna slice up some mushrooms, and I'm gonna use some baby bok choy. And to top it off, we'll be adding some green onion. Again, use whatever vegetables you want. You can always throw in some leafy greens, cabbage, anything, honestly, that you think would taste good in ramen. So one of the biggest complaints people have about tofu is they don't like the texture. We are gonna chop this into pretty small squares, and we are going to make it really crispy. You can honestly season this with whatever you want. I think I'm just gonna do a tiny little bit of garlic powder. And we're gonna spread them apart. I'm using my air fryer. Spread them apart on the air fryer basket. And this is also drained and pressed, so it got a lot of the moisture out of it, which will also help it firm up a little bit better. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder over all of it. I just sprinkled a little bit of garlic powder on it. But again, use whatever you want and whatever tastes good to you. And I'm gonna throw this in the air fryer. Our oven is also an air fryer, so I'm gonna throw it in there. So while that's cooking, I'm gonna prep up my veggies. I have mushrooms to slice and I have my bok choy. I'm gonna actually slice up my mushrooms first really quick because I already washed them. I'll have to wash the bok choy. So these I'm just gonna slice into pretty much bite-sized pieces. So cut them in half and give them a quick slice. All right, now that our mushrooms are all sliced, I'm going to slice the bok choy. Bok choy hides a lot of dirt and stuff between the layers, so I'm just gonna cut the stem off here. And then I'm gonna slice this into a couple slices and add it to this bowl. Look at all that dirt. It's totally possible to clean this without doing it this way, but I just find it so difficult to clean it. So I'm gonna add it all to this glass bowl. And I'm gonna run water over it and just kind of swish it around in the water and drain it a few times until it's clean. All right, so I washed all of this off and it is ready. So now I'm just gonna chop this. We're gonna use this as just kind of a garnish on top. So I'm gonna cut the green parts for garnish. So I'm gonna keep chopping down just until I hit like the light green part. And the rest of this I'm gonna go ahead and chop and just add in here. And I'll add that in with it while it cooks with the other leafy greens. All right, now we're ready to cook. We have a pot. I'm gonna turn this on high and add my water. If you don't want to use the packet that came with the ramen, you could totally make your own. Just a little bit more work. If you want instructions on how to do it, you can check out the blog post that's linked in my video. So now that the water's boiling, I'm just going to add my ramen, my seasoning packets, as well as my more firm vegetables. So for me, that's the carrots and the mushrooms, and let them cook for 4 minutes, just like it says on the package. We're just gonna give this a really quick stir, and we're gonna let it cook for 2 minutes, and then we'll add the bok choy. So since it's been cooking about 2 minutes and has about 2 minutes left, we're going to add our bok choy as well as the whites that came with our green onions. My tofu is ready, so you can see that it got super crispy. Look at that, super crispy. Right, and I think our ramen is about done. Perfect. This is looking so perfect. I'm so excited. All right. Since everything is done, we're going to go ahead and assemble our bowls of ramen. So I'm just going to take out the amount of veggies and noodles that I'm going to eat. Look at all those veggies. I'm going to add some broth on top. And I'm going to add some of that crispy tofu. And the other thing I really like to add is gochujang. This is a Korean chili sauce. It's spicy and I really like it. If you don't like spice, don't add it. A little bit goes a long way. That might be kind of a lot of heat for me, but we're gonna go with it. And I forgot, I'm also gonna put some green onions on top. All right, so we have our bowl of ramen here. We have all those yummy veggies. We have the noodles and the crispy tofu, and I'm gonna try it, and I'm so excited. This is so good. And that tofu really turned out really crispy. This is perfect. I really encourage you, if you love ramen, that little bit of extra effort to turn this into a complete meal is great. And even if you don't have the time to like air fry a protein or anything like that, like you totally can just use leftover meat, toss it in, and like these carrots are already shredded. Add in some of that. If you want to see how I have turned other foods into a complete meal, check out my video on mac and cheese where I do a higher protein with vegetables added, regular gluten-free mac and cheese, as well as a dairy-free mac and cheese. And if you have ideas for other processed food that you'd like me to turn into a complete meal, comment on the video below and let me know. And if you want to know more about what I eat on a normal day, how I meal prep, any type of more evidence-based nutrition information with a balance of practical life experience, be sure to subscribe for more.